everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and today I am here with a revisiting video for Scrapping for Less. Today I am revisiting the August 2017 Flavor of the Month card kit. The theme was Wild and Free, and with this one was a little bit different because there was only one large stamp set from Pink and Maine, and that was created specifically for Scrapping for Less. And this was back in the day when they still had the single scoop, double dip, deluxe sundae, and the banana split. So I will get into those things in a little bit. This is all I have left from the kit, but I'll kind of walk through the entire kit in a little bit. I used pretty much everything that was part of this kit almost in this card. Now I am going to show you how to make a box card with a single piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You're going to make the entire card base out of that one piece of paper. Now these are the alcohol markers that I used, the Copics that I used to color the images. I did not leave the coloring in here because one, it's a pretty long video and I wanted to make sure to take more time with the actual card base because my coloring is not anything fantastic. So here is my piece of cardstock. You are going to cut it at 4 1/4 inches. You're going to cut 2 of them, and that's going to leave you with that little piece that's going to be left over. Then you are going to take those 2 pieces and you're going to cut them at 6 inches. So you cut it on the 8.5 inch side, so it was 4 1/4 inches by 8.5. Now you're going to take that 2.5 inch piece that's left and you're going to cut it in half. So you're going to cut it at about 1 1/4 inches. And you're going to do that to both of the pieces that came off of the 6 inch piece. You are going to score each of the 1 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 inch pieces 1/2 inch on each side. So these are going to be the little strips that go on the inside of the box card. That's going to hold everything up. Now I don't end up using all 4, I only end up using 3. You can fit 4 in there, but I just didn't do it. Now you're going to score this on the long side, have the long side on horizontally, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch and then at 2 3/4 inch. Then you're going to flip it over on the other side and you're going to score it at 2 inches. And that's it. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the second piece. So 1/2 inch, 2 3/4 inch, then flip it over on the 4 1/4 side and score it at 2 inches. Now, this is going to give you, when you're looking at it horizontally with 6 inches across, one side is going to be larger. It's going to be 1/4 inch larger. On the shorter side, you are going to cut off that little tab. So from the 1/2 inch score line to the 2 inch score line. And then at the 2 3/4 score line, you're going to cut that down to the 2 inch score line. And you're going to do that on both pieces. And those are going to be the flaps on the box card. Now you're going to get some good score tape or some really good adhesive. And you're going to have that tab on the inside. So I like to do this separate so that way I don't get confused, because I have gotten confused when I was doing it. So make sure you put your score tape down, have it laying flat, take off your backing for it, and then you're going to butt up both pieces, not the side with the tab, the opposite side, and make sure that the tab is on the same side, meaning on the bottom, towards the bottom. So that is going to create that part. Now on the second tab that's left, fold it in and make sure you use your bone folder or something to make sure that you score that really well. Get the adhesive on there on the back side, so when you flip it in, what's on top is going to be where you're going to put that adhesive. After you get your backing off, then you just kind of hold that down a little bit and then flop your card right on over and it will line up really really well. And that is your card base as far as the box. So then you're just going to kind of go through, move it around some, make sure that it opens and closes easily. Then flip down your sides. And I left the back one straight up and down. Now you don't have to, but that's how I wanted to do it. Now I decided I wanted to have a scalloped edge, so I have some old Fiskar scissors that have a wavy pattern on them, and I'm just cutting off the edge real, I'm just lining it up and cutting and lining it up and cutting, and really just making it the very edge of it. Now I already cut out my pattern pieces for this, so I will give you those measurements in just a second here. Now if you do the scalloped edge or something to that effect, you are going to have to possibly cut down these pattern pieces just a little bit. Now for the flaps, you're going to need 2 at 3 inches by 1 3/4 inches, possibly 3 if you're going to leave it split on the back. 2 at 2 inches by 1 3/4, 2 at 2 inches by 2 inches, and 2 pieces at 3 inches by 2 inches. And then if you're going to keep the back panel just one piece, you want that piece at 4 inches by 3 inches, and that'll go across the whole back. Now once you kind of got all that done, you're going to take those pieces that you had scored for the inside. I like to use the liquid glue because it gives you a little bit of time to be able to move it around and make sure everything is where you want it to be while it's still wet and you can move it. So you're just going to kind of put those in. You can taper them where the back one is the highest and then go down a little. I didn't really do that. I put them down maybe about 1/4 inch from the top. Now with the Hello die that came from this set, I cut it out 3 times and I glued them together, and that's what's going to go on the front there. Then I have some acetate that I'm cutting into 1/4 inch strips because I'm going to be using quite a few of them to decorate this. I'm taking all of the sentiments that are part of this and I'm stamping them on some off-white cardstock that I had in my stash. I don't really know what it is. And then I'm going to cut those out. And the largest one, I am actually going to kind of tear around it and then use the ink cube that came with this collection, or with this kit, to kind of give it a distressed look on there. So that's what I'm kind of doing there. So now what was part of this kit was, in the single scoop you got the papers and the stamp set, which the papers were Natural Dots by Bo Bunny, Campfire and Lakeside by Photoplay, Dino and Friends and Jungle Safari by Echo Park, and The Story of Us by Echo Park, as well as you got 8 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and 4 envelopes. Now in the double dip Sunday, like I said, at this time they had 4 different choices you could do. You got all of those ingredients plus 2 cloud shaker shapes, family tree stickers in Kennedy Gray sequins, campfire ephemera, camping sticker sheet in Kennedy Gray sequins, Dino Friend and Jungle Safari ephemera mix, loopy leaf die, so I do end up using that here as well, and then Kennedy Gray sequins, and then a roll of washi tape, flowers, and Kennedy Gray sequins. In the Deluxe Sunday, in the next collection, you got all of those ingredients and the Hello die from Pink and Maine, which is what I made that sentiment from. And if you got the banana split level, you got an ink cube in mocha or olive green and canvas tags. So that's the entire collection. So you see there, I'm just starting to piece everything together. I cut out a bunch of the pattern paper with the loopy leaf die, and I am using those acetate strips to adhere into the box as well as onto the back of the image or the sentiment or whatever I'm using. And some of them I cut down shorter. Those strips were probably about, I would say probably about 3 inches. I'll be honest, I didn't actually measure them. It was just a scrap piece of acetate that I had laying around, and I just cut them into those thin strips. And then some of them I cut down depending on how high or low I wanted the images or the sentiment in the box card. And a lot of this is just really kind of fussying around and putting things where I wanted it and looking at how I wanted it to lay. Now you'll see me close this in a minute, and it was kind of hard to close at first because I did not close it right away. So one of the suggestions I would make is as soon as you put those tabs on the inside, those panels that you're going to use to hold all of your decorations, that you kind of fold it back and forth and make sure they stay in the right position and kind of move them back to where you want them to go. This worked out fine once I kind of worked it a little bit, but it'll be easier if you do it right from the start and make sure that that card folds very nicely and flat. And so there, like I said, that's pretty much it. The rest of this, like I said, is just decorating. I decided to keep the back separate with the 2 pieces of pattern paper. So I have one that was the 3 inches by the 3 inches by 1 3/4, and then the 3 inches by 2 inches. And so I just left that one smaller panel to be able to write what I wanted on there and stuff. And then I used the loopy leaf die pieces to just kind of fill in and give it kind of that wild, I don't know, almost jungle-like, I guess, feeling to this box. And I just think this is a real fun box. I think it could be really cute for a boy for his birthday or something like that. I like all the masculine papers and stuff that came with this set. So, like I said, that's pretty much it for this card. The rest of this is just me finishing up decorating it and really just deciding where I want everything to go. And once I'm all done with that, this is my final piece. You can see it closes, and for the most part, everything will fit right into the envelope. There's a little bit of the tail from the dinosaur and the head of the platypus that sticks out, but I think it would actually be okay going in to the envelope. So that is it. Thank you for joining me. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope you are staying healthy and taking care of yourself. Make sure you head over to Scrapping for Less and check out. This kit is not available anymore, but you can certainly check out other things that are over there. Thanks. Have a great day. Take care.